Hello, and welcome to the Dr. Money Matters podcast, the show where we discuss important financial topics that were never covered in med school. I'm your host, Dr. Tarang Patel. Hi, and welcome back to the Dr. Money Matters podcast. This is going to be a short solo episode. I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about some of the things on my mind. I've taken a lot of July off from the podcast. We did a family trip in late June to upstate New York. We visited Niagara Falls, the Finger Lakes, and Thousand Islands area. It's a really pretty area and very underrated in my opinion. If you haven't been up there, I highly recommend it to you. And it's just... You have to remember there's so much to see that's pretty close by in the U.S. that people don't tend to talk about. So, and it's always good to just take some time and spend it with family. I wanted to congratulate the new physicians who are now starting their residencies and internships. It's great to see your enthusiasm, and it brings back energy to many of us who've been practicing for a while. We all remember the feelings of panic we had when we started our first day of residency. But even when you talk to the grizzled old attendings, if you're nice and enthusiastic, they have a lot to teach you. So just make sure that you take this time this year to learn as much as you can, because you probably won't ever spend as much time in the hospital and as much time learning as you do during your internship. I wanted to talk a little bit about physician confidence in general. I've talked to many physicians on social media who seem to lack the confidence in their own abilities and their own value. And I want to encourage them and all of you to remember that you spent the time in medical school and residency, and you have to know what you're worth. None of these corporations or other entities will pay you what you're worth if you don't believe it yourself. The job market right now is actually pretty good for most specialties. It may be different for each individual specialty, but I encourage you to take a look at whatever field you're in, and just, even if you're not looking for a job, just look around and see what the offers are, because it can help you understand whether you're getting paid what you're worth, and if you have to negotiate in the future, you can at least know what the market rates are now. And it would just be good to discuss this a little bit more openly with your own colleagues to increase the transparency for everyone. There was a recent article in the Wall Street Journal about how quitters are winning right now, and it's because of the low unemployment rate. Employers are now looking and having to pay more than they did previously to attract new talent, and that can also apply to those who are staying in their positions. You may have a better bargaining position than you had just a few years ago, so keep that in mind, even if you're not looking for a new job. But always, long-term forecasts are always cloudy, but with all the negatives that are out there in medicine right now, it's always good to hear a little bit of positive news. I wanted to let you know I have a bunch of podcasts recorded and ready for release, but I purposely have taken this month off. And I do want to keep encouraging you all to join my Facebook group, Dr. Money Matters, or join my email list on the drmoneymatters.com website and submit topics that you guys want to hear about. I'm very thankful that you guys continue to listen, and the download numbers are growing every month. So thanks for sharing this podcast with your friends. I'm going to be meeting up with a few of the other physician podcasters next week at a podcast conference. And so who knows, maybe we'll be able to do an all-star recording session with all of us talking about various topics. So hopefully we can do something like that. But keep listening and keep supporting all the other doctors out there who are doing podcasts as well. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Dr. Money Matters. If this is the first episode you have heard, I appreciate you taking the time out and listening, and encourage you to listen to our past episodes. I would also appreciate you leaving me a positive review on Apple Podcasts, and also recommend you join our Facebook group where we have ongoing discussions about this and other topics in order to help each other reach our financial goals. Finally, I encourage you to subscribe to our email list and also to subscribe to the podcast itself on the various podcast app that you use in order to be kept aware when the latest episode comes out. More episodes of this podcast are available at www.drmoneymatters.com and on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Audio versions are also available on YouTube and Facebook, and you can follow me on Twitter at Dr. Money Matters or on Facebook or Instagram at Dr. Money Matters, all spelled out. Thanks for listening, and if you get a chance, please leave a positive review for this podcast as it helps move the podcast up the rankings on iTunes and gets it exposed to a wider audience. Thanks for listening once again, and stay tuned for another episode coming soon.